are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
What's up guys, Phantom here, back with episode 80 of my F1 2019 career mode, as we are going to Sochi for the Russian Grand Prix for round 16 of season 4 here. As you can see, we have an ultimate upgrade to our power ERS unit. As you can see that our durability is at risk, which isn't much since the least developed there, but we will go to qualifying here at Russia.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
As we start out here in Q2 here at Russia, which is one of the worst tracks on the calendar as we come across the line, as it is basically corner cut central here, as it is probably worse than France. France at least has some awkward spots. Here you can just corner cut everywhere. As we come up to the line, we will come across the line in P1 as our teammate Ricardo is in P5, but all of that is due to basically exploiting the track limits, which you're always going to naturally do around here, as we try to keep it within reason, as there's just a couple places where you're naturally in a corner cut and track extend, mainly in the second sector here as we come to the end of qualifying here, as we kind of run over the bollard there, as we will end up on pole as our teammate Ricardo is in 7th, as Leclerc, our arch enemy right now, is in 2nd, as we will move on to the race.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. It's time to go racing then in the Sochi Autodrome, where the long run down to the heavy braking zone at turn 2 is one of 2 DRS zones around this 3.6-mile circuit. The other, of course, down into turn 13. 18 corners make up a lap here today, with an average speed somewhere in the region of 130 miles an hour. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Old-timer lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Faber, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Norris, and Sebastian Vettel, Butler, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Stroll. Hamilton, Sainz, Romain Grosjean, and Alexander Albon, Hülkenberg, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And now it's time to head down to the track.
As we sit here on pole position here at Russia, as the 5 lights are on and they're away, as we immediately think about trying to cover off Leclerc there if he gets a good enough run there, as he's not really had the best run there, as we'll kind of pinch him down to the inside. We'll take the middle of the track here make sure not to run too far out as we kind of take a little bit of a short line there, as the AI kind of unnecessarily swing out wide there, as really you can be pretty close to that inside corner there as we come across the line at P3, as Leclerc once again is just a lightning quick in the race here, as we once again hit the bollard there, as we've set fastest last this time, as Leclerc really wasn't near us as we come, as Jeff just won't leave us alone.
Let's turn the engine down, please.
And this has probably been the third or fourth lap. He said something about the engine, and I kind of just told him to shut up. As we come on to lap 8, we are going to pit at the end of this lap, as Leclerc's finally gotten to us. He really, as you can see, he's struggling just to even get to us here with DRS, as we come to this awful third sector, as we come into the pit. A little cautious here, as it is 37 miles an hour, as the pit lane is actually very deceptive. You think it would be at the where the wall starts, but it is not there, as there's really no line to show you where the entrance is, as we come out, as we do not get delayed and we don't get jumped by Leclerc there as we exit the pit lane, as we are in P7 and now P8, as Albon has jumped us, as we're going to come out of the pits here, as Leclerc's going to be right behind us and with the slipstream, as it is pretty bumpy in the pit lane there. As you can see, he's already on my bumper gearbox. As he goes around the outside there, we kind of like let off the brakes at the last second there, try to basically cut him off from going around the outside there, as we will basically get all our position back here as long as Ricciardo did not overcut us, as it does not look to be, but Leclerc is absolutely coming on us, as this is probably the first time we've truly had to defend here, as we've just parked it in the middle of the track there. For some reason he didn't try to go around the outside. As you can see, we're being a little bit defensive here as Perez has come up to us, as he is really not in the fight here, as Leclerc has finally decided to go around the outside there, but he just can't get enough alongside of us to even think about it, because we'll easily just cut him off, as we've been kind of I guess, leaving it very, very late to accelerate, tried to stall him out there, as he doesn't get a slipstream on us there. As you can see, he really didn't get to us here on the last lap of the race, as he is really just hampering us, as we're coming up to the second DRS zone here, as he gets a massive run this time on us, as we're going to have to go to defensive there. He's going to have the outside line, which turned to the inside, as we squeeze him a lot there, as we made slight contact there, as I've really lost the back end there a little bit, as we come across the line to win the Russian Grand Prix.
Renault have pulled off a sublime performance to secure the top step of the podium today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race it was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Our championship leaders retain their position, but their lead is shrinking. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.